Hello everybody and welcome to another photography talk. In this time 10 lessons I learned in my career so you can avoid to learn them the hard way. Lesson number 1. Use tools that make you feel comfortable. A little example: if you are a carpenter, you're building a house, you have to probably use 100,000 of nails and go with a hammer on that. Get the hammer that make you feel comfortable, make you feel sure that you always get the nail with the right force and it's comfortable in your hands. You don't arrive at the night with your sore arms and all these kind of things. And in photography is the same. Don't look for the best equipment on the commercials and advertise or what other people are doing on all these kind of things. Use tools that make you feel comfortable so you can even forget you're using the tools. You can know them perfectly and go on, and the tool becomes something that is just a part of you and you forget that you are using the tool. That is something I learned a little bit later in my career because I was kind of gear addicted, so I always try to have the best and the new and the things like that. And then I learned that the great result I can have is with tools that make me feel very comfortable. Number 2, be in control of the shooting. In every situation, no matter if you're doing, like me, most industrial photography or you're doing portraits with people and these kind of things, but always be in control. In my job it was a lot of catalogs, things like that, and a lot of dealing with agencies, so with advertising agency. And if the agency was very great, you have the perfect layout, the perfect description of the image, you know what they want, so you can adapt to them. But most of the time was just people with confused idea that trying to interfere with your creativity. So the idea is be in control. No matter if you have, if the client tell you, you do your things and you are free to do whatever you want, and in that case it's very easy to be in control, or the agency is there trying to influence. Find a way to be in control. If you're shooting people, you can let them free to do what they want, but you must be the one that guide them, that is present and guide them in the right place with the right light and all these kind of things, and stimulate the expression and stimulate the movement and so on. You must be the one in control. It's something that is not that easy to learn when you start a business. So develop the skill, develop this habit to be in control and be the one that guides the shooting in the right direction. Number 3, time is money, and we all know that, but money is also time. So get some equilibrium between money and time. And when you have more time, try to develop new skills that can transform in money. When you have more money, just delegate a lot of things you're doing so you can have more time to enjoy your life, but balance the two things. Always use time and money as two equivalent things and use them in the right way. During the period that I had not much work, I learned a lot of skills that I used later to save money and to make more money. So all these kind of things, remember, you can use your money to buy time, and you can use your time to create money. So do that. In theory is very easy. In practice was one of the most difficult things I learned in my life. Number 4, be always very professional with your clients, but also get personal. Getting personal doesn't mean to be friendly and arrive to a client with, hey bro, how are you, all these kind of things. It's you still are professional, you still present yourself in a professional way, and you are still kind of detached from your client, but you can get personal. You can really be interested in them, you can ask how they are, you can remember the next time to ask about, I don't know, the kid that was having problem in school, or these kind of things. Get personal, and from that personal part you can develop relationships, working relationships that are much better. Just a little example, before I learned this lesson, a lot of time it happened that you arrive and you see the client is kind of different from the usual and perhaps is more difficult to work with, all these kind of things. You get a little bit more personal, and the clients, you see that is something different, and so you simply ask, how's your life going, and this kind of things. And for a few minutes they tell you what is wrong, and then you go on without them turning their being upset on you that has nothing to do with their problem. So this is always something that is great, to stay professional but be personal, and sometimes friendships grow from them. I have friends that I met as a clients or this kind of thing. So be always professional and continue to be a professional, and never assume that the client is a friend and you can treat them as a friend, but get personal. Assume that he is a human being with a human being problems and with all the faults that we all have. And so if you get personal, everything can get much better also in the work environment. 5. Buy the tools you need and don't find the need to buy tools. And this is something that gear addiction is a problem. So I had it a lot of time. I found the needs because I invented some needs, so I could justify it by new tool, new camera, new light equipment, and these kind of things. But that's the wrong approach. The right approach is don't buy anything you do not need. Do you feel the limits of your camera or not? If you feel some limits, look for a new camera that doesn't have that limit. But if you don't feel the limit of your camera, don't buy a new camera. You don't need it. A few days ago, I had a person writing me about, he saw the videos that I did about the Pentax K1 and K3, and he contacted me telling, oh, I know that there's an Astro Tracer, and I'm thinking to change all my equipment and sell all my Canon and buy Pentax because there's the Astro Tracer and this kind of things. And I asked him, okay, do you do astrophotography? Oh no, but I will love to try. And so my answer was, okay, do you know that you can do photography, astrophotography also with a camera without the Astro Tracer? So go out, do astrophotography, see if you like it, see if you want to spend your nights outside taking photographs of the stars. And then, when you find the limit of not having the Astro Tracer, go and buy the camera with the Astro Tracer. But don't try to create a need just to justify your desire to buy a new toy. 6. Your target, if you're a photographer, your target are not other photographers. Unless you do workshops and all these kind of things, but if you do photography, your target are not other photographers. And you don't have to spend time to see what other photographers are doing and all these kind of things and worry about what is their opinion on your work and these kind of things. Your target are your potential clients, and other photographers are not potential clients. So stop to worry about them, stop to worry about what other photographers are doing, and really don't care about them. Luckily, this lesson I learned very early in my career, so that was good. But it's something that is very important, because I see a lot of people distracted by what other photographers are doing and not much interested in what the potential clients are doing. So if you have time to study and look around, study your target, don't study your competitors. Before we go on, if you like this channel, you like the content, please put a like, subscribe and share it with your friends. And if you want to go a step further, check out my website, and you can subscribe to the newsletter there, and you can see all the books that I wrote that you can buy to support the channel. Number 7, follow your passion. And this is not your passion for photography, but follow what you like to do in your life. I mean, do you like to explore the mountains and climb the mountains? Perfect. Start to do mountain photography. If you are like me, you like the industrial process, you like all these kind of things, do commercial photography, do industrial photographers, do catalogs and these kind of things. I love them. and I'm good at them because I enjoy the industrial process. I enter in a factory and I want to know everything about the factory, and I am able to understand all the difficulties of production and how the things are going in the factory. So that's my absolute passion that I develop. I go in that direction. If you have different passions, go with that. It's not if you like wine, start to photograph wine, start to photograph vineyards, try to create your career in that direction. Follow always your passion with your photography, and here again connected to the fact of worrying about other photographers. If you see that the trend now is I don't know, pet photography, but you're not comfortable with dogs, this is for example my case, don't do it. Who cares? You have your skills that are something that is important. I have a passion for aviation. In Italy it's not easy because general aviation is almost disappeared, but you can start to try to push your job in that direction because you can do it, other people can't. In the same way, I'm not comfortable with dogs and I don't do pet photography. I know photographers that are not comfortable in getting on a plane and be on a plane. They are afraid to fly. So follow your passion. There's room for everybody around, and start to try to follow what is trendy. Number 8, learn enough to be really proficient. You have to learn everything about your tools, about your camera, about your technique. If you are the carpenter, you don't think about the hammer every time you get the hammer and go on a nail and put a nail in the wood. You don't think about that. It's just a natural movement, and if you have an hammer that you are comfortable with, it's perfect and you don't notice it. It's the same as be for a photographer. You have to know your tool in such a way that you want to do something, you just keep the camera, set the camera right and do it without thinking about it. If you don't have this level of proficiency, just spend your free time learning that. It's absolutely essential. You cannot be in a job and have to think about details of the cameras, how to set the cameras and all these kind of things, because that distracts you from the real goal that is concentrated on the image, on the composition, on the light, all these kind of things. So be proficient and always study and always continue to be proficient. If you have not shooting for some time because you are doing something, you have a pause or something like that, play with the camera to not forget the muscle memory to use the camera. So you need to be absolutely proficient. The lesson number 9 is conserve every image you take. No matter if the images are ugly, no matter if the images are not the best images, are not big artistic images, keep the images in your archive. And I learned this very early in my profession because I took some pictures of a factory, and there was a series, it was a roll at the time, so it was a 120 roll, so 12 frame with the Hasselblad. And I took some picture of the side of the building. Was ugly, was really had some problems of leaks and this kind of things. The light was not even good. I arrived in the studio and was so disappointed that I put the roll in the trash. After 2 years they called me, oh, did you ever steal that picture? I remember you took the picture on the side of the building. And I was, no. And they need the pictures because they wanted to see the evolution of the leaks in the building and this kind of things. It was a technical thing, but that was important. And I risked to lose the client because I told, oh no, I trashed them. And it was, why do you do that? And so this is important. A lot of photographs that are just ugly now can be interesting years later. I have pictures of the town where I live. You take the pictures with the main square with all the car parked. Ugly pictures is not something that is for an exhibit or so on. But years later, it was you put together all the images and you see the difference in the car used by the people. You see all these things. So a lot of images that have no meaning at the moment seems ugly, they can get a lot of significance when they are when they become historical. So that's another thing. Always keep every image. Our discs are cheap, so with digital, put the images on their disk and just keep them there, and sooner or later the images will be useful. And by the way, when you retire or when you move in another place, you can sell your archive. You can sell the pictures to the original committant, or you can sell your archive to a colleague, or this kind of thing. So it's a value. Also, the pictures that are not the best artistic picture you ever made. And the 10 lessons is that connections are more valuable than any form of advertising. When I started my business, I spent a lot of money in advertising it. And yes, some money came back, but then I discovered that what really came back were the connections. So some advertise, it can create some connection, but then develop your connection. If you want to promote your business, find something to do as a volunteer where you meet a lot of people. Look for potential clients. You have the passion, for example, for cars. Look if there's a race, a rally or something like that around, and you can go as a volunteer to do something, and you can start to connect with the people in that field, and you can find eventually clients. So create connections is much more important than just put out advertise. In these years we are becoming kind of lazy in these things, so there's the advertiser on social media, is usually cheap, is usually easy to do, and yes, you can find some client from there and it can be a nice way to have a cash flow, but use your time to connect with people. And when you create connections, something always comes from that. And it's something that is, if doesn't arrive something that is professional or assignments, but you create friendships, you create contact with other people. So try to be very social and use your time to create connections. Let me know what you think about this lesson, if you had different lessons in your career, if you have a career or you are a beginner, and let me know what you think down in the comment. I always read the comments, so it's very nice. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.